next couple of minutes, I will provide the basic information for SOMA system focus roller and how to use it. So this is the focus roller. As you can see, it has a couple of active surfaces. One is the wheels. Then you have a very highly specific ball that you can use to work with the trigger points. And then something that you may not have noticed, that you can also use this surface more for sort of layperson gua sha type of work. Basically, you slowly move into the tissue and then you do a little bit of slow dragging. So let's cover each of these active surfaces one at a time. So first of all, the wheels. You can use the wheels on yourself. So for example, you can provide static compression, or you can do a little bit of rolling exploration. And if you have seen other SOMA system videos, we emphasize that in our system, it's not really about the tool, it's not about the rolling, which people tend to do a lot with tennis balls or foam rollers, but it's about observing your body sensations and experiences and trying to connect to that, because that is the foundation for self-regulation. And you can watch my other videos to learn more about that. So you can do a little bit of rolling. This is oftentimes this is used by triathletes, by CrossFitters who travel a lot, and this tool is very small and easy to carry around. It's very useful. You can work below ASIS. That's where a lot of the very important attachments are. Again, I emphasize over and over again, you really need to know your anatomy and self-palpation, and it's something that we'll be teaching in subsequent videos, so keep an eye on these videos. Now, in terms of the wheels, you can take off the silicone coverings, and that will expose the spiky metal stuff, and these are very useful to wake up the sensations, but also to improve the blood flow, because the experience working with the spikes versus when they're covered is very much different, so try that out. You can also use the rollers, for example, if you're working on yourself, you can use them on your chest. So if you try to find the ribs and working between the ribs, either just again applying static pressure or doing mini rolling and exploration, just making sure that your shoulders don't get hiked up and don't get tense. Okay, the same thing, it's very useful to work on the lower leg, on the posterior compartment of the lower leg, and we'll be covering these techniques in more detail in later videos. The same thing applies, for example, if you're a massage therapist or if you're a licensed physical therapist, it's very convenient to use these two wheels to work in the laminar groove and on your client's back. Now, moving forward, this is an excellent way to use this pinpointed part of the device to work on trigger points. So for example, you can work one spot at a time on your chest or on your quads, again just below ASIS. It goes into that spot very effectively. And of course, for massage therapists and manual therapists, this provides a really good way to isolate one spot without actually breaking or tensing up your fingers and saving your thumbs. Now finally, this surface, you can also use that either on yourself or on your client if you're a licensed healthcare professional, to do a little bit of dragging. So just connect to the skin and then very slowly move preferentially together with the skin. Okay, well, that's about it. So again, 3 surfaces. One is a layperson gua sha type of surface, another is more for trigger points, and the other is more for rolling or static pressure, and it has two options, either with the silicone coverings or without. And yeah, we will be sending you more videos covering self-palpation and basic anatomy that you would need to use this tool effectively, so watch out for these videos. Now just a brief overview of other tools. So this is a set of 5 SOMA system balls. They are of different sizes, and as you can see, this is just like even sometimes smaller than a massage therapist's thumb, and you can use it in also while lying down, while sitting. It's excellent for trigger point work. That's what it was created for, or against the wall. We have a very soft and gentle massage ball. You can use it in a similar fashion behind the chair. It's excellent for hamstrings. It is much softer than other tools. For example, these balls are not compressible, so they're more like lacrosse balls. This is very, very soft. Or you can make it actually very soft. You can also make it hard by pumping more air into the ball. And you can move the rollers, bring them closer together, further apart. These are really great for working on your neck, or you can work on your back. So these are much smaller than the foam rollers, and their surface has much higher specificity, meaning that it has a much greater capacity to isolate old spots of achiness in your body and release them. So we use foam roller in a very different way than in other modalities, so you can make self-body work very comfortable. The traditional way to use the foam roller is something of this sort, but as you can see, you're not very comfortable here. You have to support your head. So what we can do instead, we put the foam roller to support your hips, and then you can do mini rolls, and this is much more comfortable. Alternatively, when people work with the foam roller on the lower body, this is a very traditional way to work on the hamstrings. Anatomically, it doesn't actually make much sense for 2 reasons, because you're straining your shoulder and the hamstrings are actually lengthened when you're working on them. So a much better way to do that is actually on the chair. You will shorten the hamstrings and soften them, and that would allow you to get in a little bit deeper and do more effective work. Similarly, instead of doing this type of foam rolling, which has the same problem, you can do this on the chair when your body is completely relaxed, and you can actually work out your calf muscles. And finally, there is a series of tools, SPIKY tools, which is basically non-invasive acupuncture, we use it to warm up the tissue, but it's a great tool to relieve stress and improve sleep. So if you use it for 10-15 minutes before going to bed, it really warms you up, makes you comfortable, improves blood flow, and soothes you to sleep. Within the next couple of minutes, I'll try to give you the basics of using the roller squat. This is probably the easiest SOMA system tool. As you can see, there are other tools which are primarily body weight tools, meaning that you use your own body to provide deep tissue cell body work. The roller squat can be used in 2 primary ways. So when you use it as a hand tool, meaning that you can put it on your hand, you can use it on yourself. So for example, massaging your quads or chest, or of course you can always use it on your partner, remembering if you're not a licensed massage therapist, then you should not be doing massage therapy, but otherwise you can bring a lot of joy to your friends massaging them. In terms of using the roller squat using your body weight, and by that I mean that you are not using the hand to apply pressure of the roller squat on top of your soft tissues, but you are actually using your body weight. So the easiest example would be putting the roller squat on the floor and working on your feet. And this is something that is very pleasant, and you don't necessarily have to roll all the time. You can just rest your feet on the roller squat or use 2 roller squats, and you can do that while you're working behind a computer. Similarly, you can use the roller squat to work out the tightness in your hamstrings, or you can place the roller squat, lie down next to it, and then roll on top of it, just making sure that the roller squat is not providing any pressure on the spinal column itself. And so that would be, for example, that would be an example of applying static pressure. Now, if you're breathing and lifting your hips and then letting them go back to the floor, then essentially you are using one of the manual therapy techniques called pumping. So you're literally pumping the blood in and out of the place, and that really helps to release the tissues and nourish them with blood. You can also gently move, so you can see I'm not trolling, I'm just moving my upper body over the roller squat, maybe 1-2 millimeters from side to side, and this is more similar to cross fiber, and you can do a lot of good work, again remembering that roller squat should not be applying any pressure on your spinal